Shirley, thanks for having us explore and investigate your Alexandra Lodge.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you here.
How long have you had it for?
We moved here in October of 2021, so just over a year. We started to do some of the work on the lodge as of November 1st. Yeah.
What makes the lodge unique to you? What drew you here?
Well, we originally were drawn to it as a place to retire to and to turn it into somewhere that we could generate a bit of income. So we liked that it had cabins and things like that. Ken and I are both self-employed, so we were just looking for a place. And then also I'm a potter and an artist, so I wanted a place I can sell things. And so the lodge looked great. But after we purchased it, or through the process of purchasing it, we learned about its history. So that just made it much more appealing, and the more that we learn about the lodge and its history, we realize how important the building actually is.
What sorts of place was the Alexandra Lodge used for? What makes it unique and special?
So it's a building that was called a roadhouse. So that's part of the gold rush that happened, and the Fraser Canyon War. So it was here during those events. Prior to that, actually, it was used. There's a section of the Hudson Bay Trail that comes from the lodge, and then the Caribou Road. So it's always been associated with transportation. So the Caribou Road, which is the wagon train road, and there's a photograph of wagon trains actually coming up to an older version of the lodge. Then the Caribou Highway. Then it was on that route. It was on the Trans-Canada Highway. Directly across from the lodge, there was a train station called Chapman Train Station. Our understanding is people from Vancouver could get on the train in Vancouver and stop at Chapman Station and come and spend their vacations in the lodge. So the lodge has always been associated with transportation and lodging for people through that we're traveling through.
And there's been royalty that has stayed here.
Yes, so the King of Siam stayed here. I can't remember the year. Oh, your light just went out.
Oh, let's try that again. So that's odd that went out, because that is a brand new charger.
Yeah. So you have a few things that haven't worked here.
I'm going to be right back.
Yeah.
I'll leave it running though, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of funny how we're doing this interview and we're already getting electric problems with our gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, try that again. We're good.
Yeah.
Electronic malfunctions with our gear. It's already happening. All right.
Yeah.
Try it again. So you've had royalty staying here before. Who was it?
The King of Siam. And so at that time, it was a very fancy restaurant. So the owner at the time served filet mignon and very high-end meals. The King of Siam stayed here during a tour of the Fraser Canyon in Canada, and then went back to Siam. I'm actually keep trying to find photographs, because I think it would be really cool if we could get any of when he was actually, even in the Fraser Canyon, if not at the lodge. But
the lodge is said to be haunted. You've had some experiences, yeah, you've told us. We've had some experiences last night. What sorts of things have you experienced?
Well, to be honest, I really kept hearing it was haunted, but I didn't believe it until really recently. because nothing really seemed to happen. And I always felt such a good air about the property. But recently we had a friend visiting, and she told us just before we went into the building, just so you know, I'm intuitive. And I just thought, oh, okay. So we kind of went into the building. We're just doing a normal tour with her. And we went into this one room, and all of a sudden she said, oh, there's something here. There's something here. And I was standing in the doorway of the room, and I could just all of a sudden feel something. It was more like an overall pressure to my chest and my head. And I almost felt I was going to stay there, and I was kind of resisting it because I thought, I'm not going to leave. I didn't want to leave. But because it started to, I started to feel it in my head more, I thought I need to leave because I didn't know what could happen, right? So then I left and I went outside, and then my husband was still in the building with her, and they just were talking. And then I tried to go back into the room again. And when I entered the room, it felt awful. And I can't even explain it. And now it's less today that as I'm talking about it, but a few times after, if I'm near the building, I almost got that same feeling. Like I started to feel it. So what that is, I don't know. I've never been in contact with any ghost or anything, but definitely there was something about that room. And since then, I've felt it. And then we had Ken's sister Bernadette was here as well, and she really picks up things as well. And so she walked by, and we never told her, we never said anything that there was anything haunted. And she walked past the room, and she goes, oh, I'm just gonna throw up. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but she had to leave the area, and she wouldn't go back. And that was the exact same.
You're wanting to preserve and celebrate this place.
Yes.
What are the future plans?
Well, somebody, a very well-known historian, actually said something to us, and he said that history is free. So he wouldn't charge, for digging up all this history for us, and he's really taught us a lot about the lodge. And I really appreciate that as a philosophy, because I think that's something we would like to embrace here. So we obviously need to have an income and that type of thing. But in terms of the history of the building, we do want to add a lot of features to the property that will educate people on the Caribou trail and the wagon trains and the Hudson Bay Trail, and how we also have a Chapman Bar beach as so different aspects of history. And we would like to educate the people about it, and we won't charge for any of that. And we just want to share it, because I think the sad thing about this building is how undervalued it was. Nobody understood the significance of the building. Many people have driven by this building and just thought it was a really neat building, loved it, but didn't understand what the significance. And I think we want to make sure that the history of the building is never lost again.
What can you tell us about this wonderful place and the area around us?
Well, if I start with the Alexandra Lodge, I could tell you that this is not the original placement of it.
Right.
It was first built in 1854, closer to Chapman's Bar on the other side. Yes.
So other side of the Loud Highway.
Yeah, the Loud Highway and the Loud Railway.
Right.
And it had moved twice. Once it was actually really close to the highway here.
Right.
Before the Highway 1 went in, and it was still on the Trans-Canada. So they had to move it yet again and put it on a proper foundation that time.
What makes this area so special and unique?
The Gold Rush. The Gold Rush of 1858. I mean, before that, it's always been a unique place.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, if you go back 9,000 years, there's signs of the indigenous people. And because of the Fraser River, they always had so much life and so much food.
Right.
But of course, the river itself supplies as much death as it does life. It's a dangerous place. In 1808, Simon Fraser went from the headwaters and explored all the way down and started meeting people. So Simon Fraser met the Inklipumuk Nation, and that were the people that basically had the entire canyon. And he was establishing routes for the Hudson Bay, the fur trade. And eventually, all the way down from the coast, there started becoming more and more trails throughout that people would take for all their trading routes, fur especially. And at the time, the relations between the indigenous population and the European fur traders was really good. It was based on a lot of respect. Some of the men actually married some of the indigenous women. In 1858, gold was discovered on the Fraser River. And since the 49 gold rush of California, and even the excitement down in Australia, there was a lot of miners, gold miners, that still had gold fever. So when they heard about the Fraser Canyon gold rush, they flocked to it. It's estimated that between 30 and 35,000 men came rushing up all at the same time.
These trails right here.
These trails. And as they did that, they would push up, and a lot of the miners came from the United States. And in the United States, at the time, there were a lot of tension with Native people. There were all-out wars with Native people. It was in their culture to have manifest destiny. They push up, and they started having a lot of conflicts, disrespectful conflicts, until there was a major breaking point in which an indigenous woman was abused by two French miners. And the people took exception to that. And they found the two miners and they killed them. There was more and more clashes, until the people of Yale called for the extermination all the way up. And of course, people here at Pride, it was a powerful nation. It fed the Okanagan Nation. It fed the Salish Nation. It even fed the Yakima Nation. So of course, with that pride and that power, conflict happened. A call for action, but there was two. There was one for war and extermination, and one for peace. And the gentleman that was for peace, his name was Seymour, Captain Seymour. He was actually elected in Yale to have a peacemaking mission to each tribe and village all the way up from Yale to Lytton, which was then called Cumsheen. And Cumsheen was the New York of the Fraser Canyon.
Right.
That was the big area for all tribes to congregate and meet and trade, celebrate. All happened there. So he had to make a path up these old HBC trails. Mm-hmm. And there was the war side. There was a group, and his name, he placed himself as Captain Graham. And his determination was to beat the peacemaking mission to it and just wipe out people all the way up so that the gold was all ours, there's no more problems.
Yes.
The two groups, there was the Whatcom Guard, that was Graham's, he was on the warpath, and there was the Pike Guard, that was Seymour's, and he was on the path of peace. Something really strange happened where for no apparent reason, everyone just started firing their guns. Just in all directions. They're just firing all over the place. Nobody really knows what started it off. But after all that excitement, Seymour came back down over to the king to investigate. Of all the 150 men, only 2 were dead. That was Graham and his first lieutenant. The heads of the snake that were on the warpath to genocide. They were done. The men disbanded. Seymour got to keep on going up, making his peace treaties all the way up until eventually he had a meeting with Chief David Spitler. He was the head of the nation. He was the guy. Seymour and the chief were having their conversation. Seymour said, look, when the white people come up, they're not going to come up in the hundreds. They're going to come up in the thousands. And they're not going to stop. We have to make this peace. And he agreed. He was a great orator. Chief Pittman was a great orator. So he had to do a lot of long speeches to all of his people to tell them we have to accept it. We have to welcome them. We have to forgive them. But they have to treat us with respect. And so when that peace treaty was signed, it's really funny because a British colony had an act of peace treaty made by an American and an indigenous chief with absolutely no interjection from the British Empire. That was the story of the Fraser Canyon War, and Alexandra Lodge was in the middle of the entire thing.
What sorts of things could we expect to encounter here?
The possibilities are endless. They're endless. Because
I've read some threads where they've heard ghost soldiers, ghost miners. I'm wondering if they inhabit here or if they just inhabit the land around us and cross through.
I think they very well could, because this was a very, very transitional area. Everyone traveled here. They worked and then traveled and then worked and then traveled. Personally, I'm a pretty big believer on the stone tape theory. And when you've got walls of granite for 75 kilometers, hundreds of feet deep,
Rushing River
right in the middle of it, you've got a lot of energy moving around and it's got nowhere to go, nowhere to escape to. So I think that that's one of the expectations I would have. At least it might scare me, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Right, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially because this place was a happening joint. So there's that, the energy of the past people that were here too. It was a really swanky place for a while.
Yep.
The King of Siam visited.
You did?
So with the history here, the energy there,
The history here.
Yeah. And us trying to find it out, let's go.
Do it.
I don't know about you guys, but the 2 corners don't feel connected to me. They don't.
No.
Because it's almost like the other room there, the sensation is, it's almost like knowing that someone, you know, when you're in a social gathering and you know that somebody wants to talk to you. You can just tell they've got something to say.
Yep.
But you're not able to break away and have that conversation. That's the feeling in the other room. In this room, they don't want to be at the party.
This is more of a loner.
Yeah. They don't want to be at the party. And with that corner, I can't tell if it is somebody that's facing the corner saying go away, or if their back is to the wall and they're saying go away. I don't know.
If something happened here, can you touch that blue light? Is anyone here with us? What's your name? What happened in this room? What's going on?
I just felt like somebody pushed the back of my knees.
Really? Like actually?
Yeah.
Shit. Can you do that again to Anthony?
Yeah, I don't mind him picking on me, but somebody wants to pick on me.
Is that what you're feeling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably because I crowded him.
You feel like he's calling you out?
No. Just... It feels like a bully. It feels like a bully.
Like a pioneer bully.
Yeah, just... You know, those assholes that just do that.
Mm-hmm. Who pushed him? Who pushed Anthony?
We could try leaving the spirit box on.
Yeah. What's your name? Did you push Anthony? There's something there.
That was
shit.
one.
It said leave.
That was a woman.
It sure did.
That was clear though. That wasn't even.
We're laughing. But that was clear as day.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna go there. Are you wanting Anthony to leave?
Leave.
Go. Oh.
What do you think of Anthony?
Oh. It's the same woman's voice.
It is.
It's saying again.
I'm gonna turn it up. Do you want Anthony to leave? What's your problem with Anthony? Are you?
Yeah.
You'd like me to leave? Why? I need a better answer.
Are you the guy standing in the corner? That's like a sentence.
Are you the same person that's in the next room?
What'd it say?
You can push me, you can tell me to leave, you can tell me to go, but you can't answer a question? Are you the same person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Leave.
Yeah.
And then leave.
But who is he?
Who are you?
Maybe try introducing us. We didn't do that yet.
My name's Mike.
Yeah.
Oh. This is Anthony. And we have Sandra. We're here on behalf of the current
Yeah.
Current owner, Shirley. She wants us to talk to you and tell your story. We're just here to have a conversation with you and document that. What's your name? Start with a D.
Yeah.
Can you say your name again? Steve?
Maybe Steve and Dan?
Steve? Is that your name or Dan? So the thing about this one is we've removed the antenna, we've cut the wires that go to the antenna, and we're sweeping in reverse on AM in the mountains.
And here's the thing. While we're talking,
Yes.
I am feeling less and less aggression.
Because we
Towards-
introduced ourselves.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
The one thing you gotta notice on like when we do a lot of our investigations,
Oh. Hello.
no, it's not detecting my shadow.
Well, no, and it's also going green on the other side, so.
Wow.
So we,
Okay.
Wow, that was terrific.
That was very. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Like,
Because as soon as I said, I don't feel the aggression.
maybe he's acknowledging that.
I appreciate that.
Wow. But like I was saying, when I. You want him to talk? Or do you not want me to say what I'm going to say? A lot of time on our investigations, spirits will use their energy to pin investigators against each other, aggression towards others. Like
Oh.
you can get really upset at Sandra for nothing, or vice versa,
Oh,
and it's just kind of disrupts the energy.
okay.
That's just one thing to be mindful of with more aggressive spirits.
Sure. Okay.
I don't really think there are aggressive spirits here right now.
No,
He might be cranky
maybe.
because he could be more of a
Well,
full personality, but we didn't introduce ourselves or anything.
that's true. And I just walked right up into his corner.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry about that.
Leave.
Go.
until we introduce ourselves.
So we introduced ourselves. Can you tell us your name? Knock on a wall?
Somebody's getting cheeky in there.
What was going on?
They touched right below my bum. It's weird.
So one thing we found weird, okay?
That keeps on happening.
Yeah. Was we feel that there could be a spirit going forth and back to the room. To there.
Oh, yeah? So
Yeah.
you think that is going off because the spirit is going in and out?
It was doing it the entire time.
I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear it.
Yeah.
But seriously.
Touch your butt?
Not quite. My butt's right here. I know my jeans don't flatter me much, but not quite my butt.
That's... Pretty loud. So tomorrow night, I think we should focus in this area. Do some actual controlled experiments.
Okay.
I'd like to do the Estes method downstairs. Since you're the one that gets a lot of the attention here, I think
Wow.
you'll be the one that benefits by it. I'd like to set some sensors up upstairs tomorrow as well, while we're doing other things around here.
Okay.
And set a auxiliary camera up just to see,
Yeah.
and see what we capture. Other than that, we'll go back to the hotel, figure our day out, and check our footage because this is the first time we've used this camera. Alright guys, I just finished my interview with Shirley. She gave me some pretty cool information.
So Ken was downstairs and he had a really sore shoulder. And it was a pinched nerve and he was having a really hard time, but he had to get the roof ready. And so at the time the roof had, like it wasn't open like this. So the lower, this beam here was around here. It was still like the rooms here, and he had his ladder there. And he's coming up the stairs and he says, and he was in super pain, and he said, I need to finish the roof, and if there's anyone here who can take the pain away from my shoulder, please do so. And he goes up the ladder, and the ladder slid out from underneath him and he hit the floor, and he went and he said, oh my God, my shoulder is better, but he hurt everywhere else.
Remember last night we were talking to a male spirit in spirit box? Could be William Alexander, the person who built Alexandra Lodge. He passed away in Cottage 2. So Cottage 2 is the original building that was on this side. So where we were downstairs is the original section of the building. And the female that came through, she said, could maybe be his wife. William died kind of unexpectedly, wasn't ready to go. So it would make sense that his spirit still lingers this building. And maybe she was pushing us away because he could be sick. Who knows? Maybe tonight we can try a small experiment similar to like we were doing yesterday. Try and talk to him again. Let's do it.
Yeah.
There you go, history guy.
All right.
It's terrible.
So, do you feel comfortable sitting on the floor?
No, I'm getting a chair.
All right, well,
I'll go get a chair.
you pick any chair you want.
Yeah. I don't want to get bitten too hard by something.
But it's a souvenir.
My throne. You want me in here, right?
Just like the Blair Witch Project, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm nervous.
How's the heart rate?
It's pretty high.
So, we can do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to hear everything you say. If you need help, we're not going to hesitate. We'll be down here in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You have nothing to worry about in that aspect. If you feel anything paranormal, obviously document it verbally. Try not to run. As not trying to amp you up with that. I'm just being straight with you. There will be gear. So if you do choose to run, just grab the one with the light so you have a light to get out of here. We won't put... Actually, we're going to have them both on a tripod. This might be the easiest tripod to pick up and go with. Because it's not...
So you guys aren't even going to be able to see me.
Nope. Nothing. Just hear you.
Okay.
Say no.
Sure.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Anthony Estes method. Take one.
All right, so I'll let the camera know I am turning this on. Sweeping in reverse. Light hold down.
Can you tell us your name?
Leaving?
You want us to leave? How about Kate? Are you here?
No.
What's your name if you're not Kate?
Run. Fishnet.
Fishnet? Did you wear fishnet stockings? Or do you mean the fishnet behind us?
So,
We just heard a noise up here
it was just like a knocking.
of wood.
Hello?
Patient? Patience?
Patience. That really creeps me out, actually.
Yeah.
Patience for what? I don't feel alone up here.
What the heck is happening right now?
It's like we're being surrounded.
Yeah.
They're gone?
No, they're not. This is actually pretty scary right now.
Who's here?
He's got 8 more minutes.
Gonna die.
Gonna die. Who's gonna die? Why would you say that? That's the second time it's been.
Nothing.
Are you upset that we're here?
Fuck you.
This is right to us. Why are you upset? We just want to hear your story.
Right.
We do, that's all.
We're here because Shirley wants to say.
Never left.
I understand. You've never left this place.
It sounds like there's someone walking right down the hallway.
Are you kidding?
We're literally looking down the hallway.
That was like boots.
Fraser behind us.
Fraser. Can you come closer? Oh my god, that whole cold air. Who's up here with us?
Quit.
Quit?
Quit. Quit what?
Are we in danger? By being here?
Always.
Okay.
That's fucked. Sorry.
Why do you want us to quit? Or are you saying they should quit renovating?
No.
Awesome. We don't think so either.
I'm not saying that word.
What?
Anthony is not going to say whatever word. I'm still digesting.
Cursed.
Cursed?
Is there a curse on this land? Who's the man in the corner up here?
What's your problem?
We just want to know who you are. Is there male energy stuck in the addition of this building?
Told you.
Told you. Because you said that earlier.
You did tell us, thank you.
Thank you. You told us yesterday.
I did.
Are you kidding? What can we do to help you?
Time.
Hide.
You want us to hide? It's been down there for 25 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Should we pull him?
Skirmish?
Oh, like the fight from... That's the word Anthony used earlier today.
It is. Were you listening to Anthony tell the story of the Fraser Canyon War? Did you fight?
No!
Can you tell us who this man is that is stuck on this side of the building?
Hammer!
Hammer.
Him.
His name.
Is that how you're asking us to kill him? Is that maybe how?
Paint?
His name's Nate?
Did he say Nate or Faint?
Boss?
Boss.
Boss.
On the roof?
Hammer on the roof.
Did you fall off the roof?
Exactly. Covered.
You fell off the roof. How can we help resolve?
Paint.
Oh, they're painting here. Yes. With the people doing the renovations here, are there any...
That's interesting. Shit.
Are you saying you put a lot of work into this place?
Yes.
Maybe.
Run. Run.
Let's go get him.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
How did it go? Well, isn't that a fun story?
And I gotta tell you guys, you're gonna see this in the footage, but there was something over here coming at me all the time. I had to like put my hand out.
Yeah, see, this is So this camera cut out
Completely?
completely.
Did the battery die?
No, I just restarted it.
Okay.
Thankfully, that camera was going the entire time.
Okay.
This, unfortunately, had the good audio recorder on it. However,
Oh, we have this one.
we had that running, but there will be audio on there. The accuracy upon us asking questions and you firing back at us is alarming.
Yeah.
Alarming and scary.
Oh, really?
I don't think we've ever had something that accurate
No.
in our career.
And
Oh.
Actually, like, something like walked the hallway.
With,
Yeah.
with boots. Well, she came up, and we mentioned that. She came up, Shirley, but it wasn't her. This was a totally different
We
boots.
wasn't even at the same time.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
Can I get out of here?
Yeah, let's
Can I get out of here?
Why am I still standing here?
Let's talk about it upstairs.
Let's go. Are you cool to grab that?
Yep.
I just went off upstairs.
Like, literally just right now. But we said what's happening right now, like who's all here, and then Anthony from down in the basement said they're gone. So if the whole family was here for a wedding,
They're gone.
oh my gosh, it's like really going off, like really close.
Yeah.
You can hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think something's like really close to it.
Yeah.
You want to come check it out with us?
Whoa.
So when this was going off, Steve and Dan.
As the team reveals the evidence they've collected, it becomes clear that a spirit may have a connection to Shirley. Another spirit may be Lily Clegg, the woman on the spirit box who owned the lodge in the 1920s. Further research is needed to identify the angry spirit that may have targeted Anthony, pushed the ladder out from under Shirley's husband, Ken,
Maybe.
Run!
and may have threatened the team. In all, the paranormal road trippers believe there may be 5 or more ghosts at the lodge. As the team heads downstairs to discuss more of their discoveries, something, or perhaps someone, stays behind, standing near a sensor, waiting, listening, and turning off a light.